I think it's been about 3 years. I don't know when was the last time that I opened my meditation app. Not 3 years, that's how long I have this app, but I mean still, I'd say at least 3 months. Let's take a look at it. Maybe it has statistics. My statistics: 4 minutes average meditation length, 3 hours total meditation time in, I don't know, it says I joined 2018. I'm so glad I didn't get any other like self-help apps. I mean, maybe one, but I will cancel that. You know, there's all this stuff out there. But my favorite is BetterHelp. Have you met BetterHelp? If you didn't, Louis Rossman has covered it already, so.
Before we finish the video, I'd like to talk about today's sponsor, which is a company that you should never, ever use for therapy over the course of your natural life. And that company is called BetterHelp.
I'm not gonna elaborate on that, but let me just say that they will never be a sponsor of this channel. You know, before I do that, I sent you my feed pics, because that is more honorable than being sponsored by BetterHelp. BetterHelp to me seems like a total disgrace to just anything related to privacy. Just no. And I believe that most apps are like this. It's not a criticism even towards this app. It's a criticism towards a culture of exploiting your clients and sharing stuff you shouldn't share. It's just that there are some companies that get caught and then maybe eventually get called out a little bit, then it blows over and nobody cares anymore. But you should always assume that all of these apps just take your data and sell it to whoever wants it. It's not even just Google, it's not even just personalized ads. It's whoever is the highest bidder. It's whoever just comes along and wants your data. It's out there, they sell it, somebody buys it. So I had 46 sessions. That's actually more than I thought. Success, what was I interested in? Stress and anxiety. Oh yeah, that sounds like me. I don't know, man. I think it's 70 euros a year, which is too much. But I subscribed to this because I liked the guy's voice and I really wanted to get back into meditating. And I wanted to do like a challenge, as in, oh, come on, I can do daily meditation for a year. Because I've been there at some point. That's a lie. I've never been there. I've been at the point where I was like meditating a few times a week maybe, which I think is very good. That's plenty. But yeah, no, I do yoga. And there were times in my life where I did yoga almost on the daily. Yeah, I always had this idea of doing something daily or at least regularly, once a week, twice a week. And then I end up never being able to make time. And so these apps, at least they remind you, and then you pay for them and you think like, okay, you know what? I paid $70 for this, now I gotta use it. But that's the same as with the gym membership. I feel like on some people like me, this just puts a tad too much pressure. Not that this is like real pressure as in real life, working somewhere, having to provide for a child, having to take care of someone. You know, an app or a gym membership isn't real pressure. It's just, you know, whatever, just to get the relations straight here. But anyway, when I buy something really expensive, I feel like I always have to make use of it, right? And I bet there are a lot of people out there thinking the same odd thought, and then it doesn't work out. I mean, it kind of did with my gym membership, but it was more because the gym was okay-ish. It wasn't a great gym, it was okay. I actually did end up canceling my gym membership again because eventually I didn't think it was a good fit for me, just because of all the boomers. And boomers don't motivate me. I need young, hardworking people, not that there aren't the hardworking boomers. Dude, this must be the most apologetic video ever. I don't want to be apologetic, I hate that shit. But you know, the internet is getting more stupid every day and people are rubbed by things the wrong way more every day. It's like you say something and you don't think much about it because that's normal. You shouldn't be thinking about every word you're saying, you put out there. But then people just have the audacity to not even ask, hey, what did you mean by that? You're too stupid to fucking do that. To those people, I want to offend you. Fuck you, I hate you, I don't want you on my channel, just piss off. Okay, now that that's out there, let's move on. So it's the same with this app, right? I have this app and I'm thinking, okay, it's a little investment in myself. Let's have a spa day at home and do that. But honestly, after too many years, I'm gonna cancel this now. Maybe I'm gonna save some of the meditations, I don't know, or buy a meditation class or something that's a one-time payment. But this recurring shit, I don't think it works for most people. It doesn't work for me, and I want to be honest with myself and with you guys. And then one thing that I also dislike about this kind of stuff. Let's go back to the gym, right? My gym was about 70 to 80 bucks a month. A month. And I booked this only because it was super close to my home. So I could fall out of bed and go to the gym. And at that point, I was really struggling with my health. I wanted to lose a little bit of body weight, as in the form of fat. Because, muscle, okay, I want that. But fat, no, it doesn't pay rent. Wanted to get rid of that. And I wanted to, oh, yes, I'm skinny. Oh, shut up. You don't know how I look underneath. You only know me until here. Do you even know that I have legs? Okay, stay away from my body goals. I can do that on my own. I've been on this planet long enough. So I go to this gym, right? And you already pay like 70, 80 bucks a month, depending on how many weeks the month has, because it's a weekly payment. First red flag, I should have known. And the coffee isn't included. And the towels aren't included. I mean, the personal training is included, but the personal trainers were kind of meh and never had time when I had time because, oh, well, it's kind of a boomer gym and we have time in the morning and not in the evening. I'm like, okay, fuck that. Well, then I guess no personal training. And also it was always awkward. It was always weird. And I just kind of didn't feel like doing it because of this atmosphere. And I'm not a weird, awkward person when it comes to lifting shit. I can do this fine by myself. But if the coach is making it weird, I'm out. I'm out. I don't have time for this. I don't have the energy to be like, thank you. Oh, yeah. No, I have like this zero bullshit policy in my head, and if people don't adhere to it, they are flushed out of my life. Like a floater in the toilet. Bye-bye. And so eventually I canceled this shit. But there is the same with all these apps, It's not just an app for meditation now. No, I bet there is an AI now too, at least in some apps. I have a yoga app as well. I'm gonna talk about this later. And let's see what I can do. Okay, this one, I actually can't find anything on it. That's good, because a lot of these apps, you scroll through them and it's like, oh, you should also join our live program, which is an additional fee. So scrolling through this right now, I actually can't find anything where there are any additional features that you can opt into, because a lot of these apps do this shady kind of thing where they offer you a premium membership and then you already have a premium membership, but then there is also a silver and a gold and a platinum membership. And whatever you enter, there will always be something else. There will always be like, oh, join our live. Oh, join our mentorship program. Oh, join our AI system help special coach crap. There's always more, and it's linked to additional fees, which is something I hate. And of course it's monthly or yearly fees. It's never a one-time payment. It's never okay, I get this course, I'm done. No, not even websites where you get programming degrees or something. You can't even buy a programming course anymore and be like, okay, I just want this class, 200 hours. After that, I want to be done. Oh, yeah, just do it at your own pace and pay a monthly fee. That's better. And, if for some reason, you become a parent or you're ill or life happens and you have to take a break for a month, then, just keep on paying and come back later. No stress at all. Just waste a few $100 because you then completely forget about this course. I don't know. I don't think that's sustainable. I don't think that's good customer service. I don't think that is what most people want. I think people want, and if they don't, they should want it, a right to own something. A right to pay once and be done with it. And the people who make this shit, they shouldn't live off of the idea of people not caring enough. They should live off the idea of people actually wanting to come back and wanting to take more classes because their first experience was great and they want to come back and they want to do it again. They want to learn more and feel successful and not like, oh damn, I didn't hand in the final exercise sheet and now I have to be in this class for another 4 weeks for the next deadline, or because the enrollment fee was just withdrawn for this month, and all of this fluff, all of this bullshit. People don't want that. If you're going to finish the class, you're going to finish the class. What class is the better class? The one that costs less and teaches you the same. There is no arguing about that. And subscriptions almost always cost you more than the net worth of the actual class, which in my opinion is a betrayal of a good customer. So yeah, by default, there are exceptions, but by default, I am against all kinds of subscriptions when it comes to apps, services, even the ballet studio, like our local ballet studios here, they have monthly subscriptions. My kid likes ballet, but she doesn't want to come to a fixed class because she already has 2 lessons of ballet with her figure skating each week. And so sometimes she's like, oh, I want to do another ballet class, but there isn't one. I want to be able to book a ballet class like I'd be able to book a yoga class. I understand that there is a need for traditional ballet classes for kids, as in they come in every week. But to be honest, these studios here in Munich, they're pretty shitty. And none of these ballerinas are gonna make it big time. None of them are even gonna make it like little time. It really doesn't matter. It's just a hobby at this point for all of these kids. They're not really getting a ballet education like you would in Eastern Europe. Let's just face it. And so this is all hobby shit anyway, but they still have this idea of the grand ballet architecture, structure, come in every week. You would make more money if people could actually come in whenever, and it would just be skill based. Because if you have people that already do ballet, but they don't have time every week, or one week they have like 3 hours that they can come, and the next week they only have 1. Especially since this is the case for the adult classes. The adult classes you can usually just join whenever, because it doesn't matter. Why does it for the kids? I hate to say it, but none of these kids from these ballet schools are going places. They are small, local, hobby schools. Okay? They're not catering to Vaganova. The highest thing that would come out of it is probably another local school ballet teacher. I mean, there's like one company that is as good, right? And there's like one school that is okay, and you have chances there, but most of them, no. So I kind of don't get the whole claim of it. Anyway, that was just an example, because I think that so many services today are subscription based when they really should be a one-time thing or a pay when you need it thing. Now my meditation app, that's one, but I also have a yoga app. And the yoga app for me, that is something really useful. I can actually download the videos. It might not be completely legal, to then transfer them to your computer, where you can watch them on a big screen, which is comfortable if you are nearsighted and you don't want to wear contacts while doing yoga. You just want to do the fucking yoga. And the app doesn't quite, communicate with my Linux computer, which it should, but it doesn't. So I have no way of watching it on a big screen. And I don't want to have a shitty, pricey, useless, privacy exploiting product like an iPad just to watch shit on a bigger screen and not have a keyboard. Who wants that? Shit without keyboard? I already have shit without keyboard. I'm good. One is enough. And I have a keyboard for that. I really do. Because I love keyboards. However, Logitech, what's wrong with you? Are you too dumb to put in the screws correctly? Because I'm not, and I know it's not hard. You should too. Anyway, so the yoga app, it actually helps me to do yoga whenever I want. And the price is fairly reasonable. It's also $70. But it really does save me money and time. I do not have the time to go to a yoga studio. And one yoga class is like $20 in Germany. It's not really cheap to go there. I go there, I am sweaty, there are no showers. I have to ride my bike back home. It's probably pouring because we're in Germany and we have seasons, and 3 or 4 seasons are rain, sun, whatever mix. And snow. For at least half of the year, it's not fun to get there. I know this is whining at a top level right now, but it's just not practical, so I'm not gonna do it. The reality of it is I'm not gonna go out there if it's raining. I'm watching my window right now and it's pissing right now. The weather says fuck you, and I say, well, fuck me then. I'm not gonna go to the yoga class if it's pissing, because I'm gonna sit at home and cuddle up with myself, my kid, or my imaginary cat. Everything is better than going out there at this point. If I want to freeze, I go skating at the rink, okay? I have places to be when I want to be cold. That's cool, but I can do yoga in my own home. I can do yoga without a class. I did a yoga teacher class. I can teach myself yoga if I want to. So, now. So yeah, that has an inherent use for me. As in, I will come back to this app eventually. Monthly, weekly, often enough for it to still make sense monetarily and in my head, as in I get something out of it. The last class I did on this app was 1 week ago with my kid, and we did the front splits. And I was like, we really need to practice for the front splits. Let's do this together. And yeah, my kid and I just did that in the morning using the app. That is not something a local yoga studio can offer me. It's not like, oh, it's 11 a.m. I feel like doing yoga. Let's just go to any class. Maybe in Berlin, if you live like in Kreuzberg or whatever the shitty hipster quarter is now, and if you're a rich bitch, yeah, sure, maybe you can go there. You can call your private yoga teacher and be like, hey, I want to do yoga right now. Teach me. I can't do that. Nobody can do that. No non-negligible amount of people can do that, so it doesn't matter. So this app makes sense to me. But shit like BetterHelp or this organizing ADHD app, which, what is it called? Me Plus or something? Let's take a look at that. And the meditation app, Headspace. None of these apps actually do jack shit for me. And I wonder how many people are out there having this installed, paying the yearly fee, and not doing anything or little to nothing with it. Me Plus, yeah, that's the one. So Me Plus, I want to show you that one too. Consent to all sorts of crap that I don't need. Okay, so I have my routine here, things that I want to cross off the list. And it's like yoga, doing writing in my diary, because at some point I was like, yeah, I want to write my diary every day. And language skills and whatever, you can even choose like icons for it. And I don't know. It's not the greatest layout in my opinion. It's weird. It's hard to edit. So you can cross these things off your list. And the way they advertise this was to people with ADHD, as in, if you have ADHD, this app will really help you cross stuff off the list. It's motivating, it's glossy, it's pastel colored, it's cute. And that is exactly the kind of thing I would do when I was in school and there was a subject I just could not bring myself to concentrate on. If I had a subject, like for me that was geography, I just hated that shit. I couldn't bring myself to enjoy learning where some fucking river would go. So I would make it pretty. That was my way to make it work, to just find it in my heart to do something for that subject and maybe get a B. And I do that now with other stuff as well, where I feel inhibited to just start the task and get going and bring myself over this activation energy bump that you just need to start. It works for me if I make it pretty. To this day, I find contemplation in cleaning up my desk, or I find contemplation in having a nice workspace, looking at pretty things, having a nice coffee cup. And I get up in the morning and I do things this way because it helps. So I am prone to try new things that I believe might also help, which is why I installed this app. And of course, it's a yearly subscription. What else would it be? For a fucking to-do list, bitch. Seriously? I don't know what had gotten into me. It must have been some stupid New Year's resolution. Oh, I don't do New Year's resolutions thing, but I mean, I could do this, but it's totally not a resolution. It's me skill building or whatever. No, I actually don't use these idiot words, but yeah, I am deleting this right now because it didn't do jack shit for me. By the way, what is jack shit? Is it a person called Jack that poops in your front yard? Or can any of the Americans explain to me what jack shit actually is? Like, what do you think of when you hear that? It's a very interesting idiom to me. If you tell me what that is, I am going to explain a random German idiom in the next video if I don't forget about it, or in the comments. Anyway, looking at all these apps and everything that I have tried to improve myself or learn new skills and whatnot, I must conclude that most of these apps don't really help with anything. Meditation, there's free shit out there. You just trick yourself into thinking that you're more motivated if you have it all in one place, or nicely organized, or paid for. That's what you think a subscription does for you, right? Is it that? I don't know. For me, it was a little bit like it. But I think this is a sure way to waste money. And you can do better. You can. You can do your yoga with some free YouTube channel where it's all out there. If you don't like the ad interruptions, you can watch it on NewPipe or in Brave browser. It's not hard. Or you can use Louis Rossman's thing, what he's doing right now. I have no idea. I have to check that out as well. Never in the history of mankind has so much shit been free and out there and in good quality too, to watch, to learn, to be an autodidact and be at home and just do it. And as much as I understand whining about subscription services, we must realize that we actually do not need most of them. It's not like this is all essential crap. I mean, there are subscriptions that are essential shit, right? Like your electricity bill, I guess, or your phone bill. But even that, you can get a burner, if you really want to. But yoga, meditation, and somebody who claims to be a psychologist but probably doesn't get shit done in the real world either, and you believe that this person can help you through some app where they text message you and do voice calls sometimes and are accessible 24/7, like not a real therapist would be, because you'd have an appointment and you'd have to show up on time. That's a different experience. That does something else with your brain right there. I mean, you do you, as in you do shit and I'm gonna judge you. But I think that's crap. I think that all of this is unnecessary. The yoga app, we can debate that, but I would even agree that it's unnecessary as well. I just like it better, and I don't think it's more expensive than a yoga class. But if I'm being totally honest with myself, I believe that going outside, sitting on that bike, cycling through the rain, getting to that yoga studio, being there, meeting people, getting the flu because they all have the snorts, coming home, giving the flu to your family, being sick for a week is the better experience, right? End of the video.